It's Fox. For breaking news, text news to 41070. KCal, that's the breaking. They got the inside scoop. How's it going, bro? They got the inside scoop for sure. I think this is just someone's got the... We don't get these parking passes at the inLeague Press. We don't get this kind of treatment.
They don't let us park here on the freaking sidewalk.
No. Yeah, hey, afternoon, ladies. So we're at the Los Angeles Police Department right now with the protest against police brutality and police corruption. Los Angeles, California, Los Angeles PD. A lot of this is due to the populace being upset about the fact that there was really no due process in the killing of Christopher Dorner, that it was pretty much a hit from beginning to end because it was like a gang member that had ratted out on his friends. So what do? You know, if a mobster rats on his friends, you got to off them, especially if they got more information to give.
Is the right towards here?
Here on the corner of 1st and Main, downtown Los Angeles, currently picketing in front of the Los Angeles Police Department. People are not happy with the way the police are conducting themselves in Los Angeles, and they're here to let the world know. Hey, you guys.
Involved in taking steps to hold police accountable. I think police officers need to check themselves, report each other, continue with reporting, because I know that things get reported all the time and gets shoved to the side. I think there needs to be more accountability at higher levels, internal affairs. Another thing that I don't agree with is the way that the news puts things out, the way they portray things, the stories that they put out. There's conflicting stories in the news.
Yeah, the LAPD did ruin his life, his naval career. He lost his family, his mom, his sister because of LAPD.
Say fight back, you say get back, we say fight back. You say get back, we say fight back. You are guilty, LAPD, you are guilty, LAPD, you are guilty, LAPD, you are guilty.
Okay, so we have enough people to tell their stories. Do you feel comfortable telling your stories, guys? Anyone here? Anyone here want to tell their stories? Okay, we got someone here.
My little brother got killed by the LAPD 4 months ago. He was a 22-year-old. They confused him with another parolee. My brother has never been to jail. He was a high school graduate, went to college, but he just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. He got tasered multiple times, even after being handcuffed.
Where's the justice?
What's his name?
What's his name?
Javier.
Javier what?
Javier Rizola.
Javier
Justice for
Rizola.
Javier!
Justice!
So Javier Rizola, could you share with me a little bit about your brother?
Yeah, my little brother, Javier Rizola, 22-year-old, he was killed by the LAPD 4 months ago, and he was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. They confused him with a parolee. My brother was a high school graduate, went to college, and he was a good guy. And LAPD just confused him. They never apologized to us. They just, I don't know, until this, we did our own investigation, and I think I'm gonna break down.
If you need to take a minute, I'll shut off the camera.
Years ago, my son was shot by UCLA sheriff's officers inside my own house. When his hands were above his head, they shot him 3 times. Without an excuse, they found no weapon. Their excuse is he attempted suicide by cop. That's their fallback excuse. When they can't find a weapon, they have no excuse for shooting. My son is still alive though, but by the grace of God, thank you. The East LA sheriffs are corrupt also.
Anyone want to talk about the
murder.
Would you like to speak?
Torture. He's tortured. You want to speak? Murder. He's tortured. Tortured by fire.
We all know Christopher Dorner was murdered.
Yes.
We saw the tweets, we saw the lies. You heard the radio traffic. Burn him alive, burn that motherfucker.
Yeah.
We heard it, we all
And
heard
they
it.
took it down.
There is no justice in that. Where is the justice?
Where's the justice?
Where's the justice?
Racist, sexist, anti-gay, LAPD go away. Racist, sexist, anti-gay, LAPD go away.
Deputy Perez, he's trying to fit the whole area. He's deputy in the whole area.
How do you feel about the recent allegations in regards to the corruption of the LAPD?
What allegations?
Well, the ones made by Christopher Dorner and the other people who've come forward releasing documents and manifestos in regards to corruption and police brutality.
We'll look at all the, transparent organizations. We're looking at any allegations that come forward. We'll look at them. We'll look at everything, see if there's lessons learned, something learned, if there's misconduct, we'll address it, behavior, we'll address it.
How do you feel about how the San Bernardino County Sheriff Department dealt with the cabin incident with Christopher Dorner?
That's for San Bernardino to address.
Well, I was asking how you felt, how they did it.
That's how I feel.
Okay, thank you. Right on.
And how do you feel about the blue line that was mentioned in the blue line that was mentioned? Is that what he called it? Blue line? Where cops aren't allowed to come forward to talk about blue code of silence. That's right. Does that exist? Is there a blue code of silence? Is there an unspoken rule amongst officers to keep silent about brutality and corruption?
We expect officers to come forward when there's misconduct that's committed.
If an officer were to engage in such use of force and you were to witness it, would you come forward?
Well, I'm a deputy chief. I would. Yeah.
Have you ever
Thank you.
come forward with something that you felt was unethical or violated your codes? Or, have you ever come forward?
What?
Like,
Have you ever whistle blown on a fellow officer?
Everybody bucks up, okay? One of your officers, you must have seen somebody buck up at some time. Have you ever reported that?
Okay, so your question, because you're kind of going in a different
My question is, have you
have
ever...
I ever been, I'm an administrator of discipline, so I have
Okay.
terminated officers, recommended termination
Okay.
officers to the chief of police. Okay? I have testified against other officers at one time when there's been something that's gone on. Then after those are personnel issues, and that issues that I wouldn't comment on who the officers were or what the circumstances were.
Why not?
Because that's part of the law. AB 3300, it's a personnel issue. Once if you're employed, your employer's not going to lay out whatever happens with you into the media.
Well, what about...
Doesn't that enforce blue code of silence?
Yeah.
No.
It's a lot like that, yeah. What can you explain what due process means?
They're public employees.
I've asked other officers and all I got, well actually I've asked other servants and all I've got was, why don't you Google it? Can you explain what due process is to us?
I have a feeling you know what the process is.
Well, I want to understand it more from your view.
Okay. Yeah. Next question.
I'm curious
Everyone has
what's
a fairness?
going to happen to the police officers that shot the innocent... What's going to happen with the police officers that shot the innocent people while looking for Chris Dorner? What's going to happen with the police officers that shot the innocent people on the street while looking for Chris Dorner?
Our chief has already said that there's an investigation that goes into that. We have a standard protocol that addresses those. Yeah, we have a force investigation division team that comes out. We do a very extensive investigation. It's the most extensive investigation that's done in the United States on any and all shootings that we have. And that will run its course. The chief will review it.
Would you be able to say a timeline about how long that process would be able to take so I can keep up with it?
Depends.
So I can keep up with it. I would like to know what's happening with that. So if I can get a timeline of how long I should wait, 3 years, never, I mean...
Forget about it. Where are you going to post your results?
It'll never be never. Depending on the investigation, if it's an administrative investigation, it can get told while there's a criminal investigation that goes on. There's criminal statutes and stuff. So I'm sure the chief will get the information out.
Excuse me.
He's ready to make that recommendation to the police.
I got a question.
Can you explain your protocol to us? Because I keep hearing that word thrown around and it really doesn't mean anything anymore.
What protocol?
You just said it right now. You guys are going to be following your guys' protocol in order to follow through with the investigation.
What I said was we have a protocol.
Right. Can you define that?
The investigations in that.
Can you define your protocol?
On that is we have a team, highly skilled investigators. They come out, they handle an investigation, they take a look at that.
Do they have credentials that we can review?
Have credentials that you can review?
Right. I mean, anyone can be called an expert. I can call this guy an entertainment expert. I mean, it doesn't make it true. No offense.
I'm Stephen Sweetleaf. I am the real news.
They're experts in their field. They come in, they do the investigation. The investigation then is conducted within 72 hours. The chief of police has a review of that incident, makes any determinations as to direction.
You're talking about an independent review?
I'm sorry, I'm talking as loud as I can, so I don't have a bullhorn.
Well, here, let me ask you this.
So you either got to close ranks and
hold on to a question. I got one more question then. Are these people that are coming in that are internal through the department, or are they third party?
Internal, there are investigators. The Inspector General looks at the investigation. The Police Commission gets presented with the investigation. The DA office rolls out a team of investigators, so it's a comprehensive piece.
So it's through the internal parts of the department, correct?
So if the Nazi Party were to investigate the Nazi Party for war crimes, do you think that they would find them guilty of war crimes?
Oh, yeah. That's my question.
Doubt it.
No. So if the LAPD is investigating the LAPD for brutality, do you think they're going to find themselves guilty, or do you think they're going to find themselves
outside open investigation?
Maybe a third-party investigation might be a little bit more appropriate?
Absolutely.
If it were your family member,
Outside
like
review.
but just one more question. Why is it that the police were reporting first that they didn't know how the cabin set on fire, and then we heard the radio transmission where they're saying to burn it down? And that was your original
San
plan?
Bernardino County.
Okay.
Police. They're doing their investigation on that. That's not our incident. That wasn't our officers with that piece. So I couldn't speak to anything to that.
So are you saying there's absolutely no cooperation between you guys and their department on any of this?
I have a quick question. This is your opinion. When there are instances where officers shoot people that are innocent or they thought it was somebody else, how come usually there's an investigation, this, that, and the other thing, how come they usually get a slap on the wrist when it's normal citizen with charged with attempted murder?
Well, it's not necessarily true.
I'm not saying every instance, but when it does happen, why do officers get?
We have officers that have been administratively punished, and we've had some that have been terminated for use of forces. Depends on the findings of that investigation. I got like 2 more questions.
Okay.
And then
What concerns?
Right now, in regards to in Christopher Dorner's papers, it shows that it was supposed
you want to come in out of the sun so you don't get.
It would show that it was supposed to be the judge said they were supposed to set aside the judgment of releasing Christopher Dorner from the force. Why wasn't that enforced? In his court papers, it shows that the judge set aside the judgment to take him off the force.
I believe that's what I read in there. I'd have to double check that. I can't respond to that.
Sir. What concerns me has to do with more than Christopher. It has to do with inside the force. And I don't mean just in terms of people who knowingly and choose to do wrong. It has to do with those who enter the force and they want to do right. And they can't do right because they are caught in the system. Now that's what concerns me. I know it's something that's not going to be done because I know that's how it operates. But I think it's unfortunate for all of us who care and all who enter any profession that you go there and there's something already in place. So you can't do what's right, even if you want to, because the forces come down on you. That's tragic.
Clarify your question, please. Sir.
It's a statement, not a question.
Does the LAPD have an estimate on how much money was spent on the on the pursuit of Christopher Dorner?
No, not that I'm aware of. All right, thank you. No, I said that was the last one.
Thank you.
No problem. What is your rank, sir? I'm sorry.
Deputy Chief.
Deputy Chief, thank you very much.
Thank you, Officer Perez.
Thank you, Officer Perez.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Yeah, you too.
We're here to help you skip over that. Okay, we're going to tell you some ways on how to bring accountability within your city. within your city and how to do it, and how we've learned how to do it in other cities, in Fullerton and Anaheim and Downey, and all of them. We're actually putting action to these things and seeing what works and what doesn't work. Okay, so we want to help anybody else's community who is just now learning how to do all of this, and skip past all the parts that we freaking totally were epic fails for us. You know what I mean? As far as trying to get accountability, justice, even trying to get the city council to blink at a grieving mother when they're up there begging them to do something about the police department. We've actually gotten some blinks. We've gotten you know what I mean? We've gotten them to hear what we're saying and hear what these grieving mothers have to say, and look at these victims as human beings instead of gang members, instead of this, instead of Hispanic, instead of, you know, African American,
black, white, whatever,
as human beings. That's, you know,
because the bottom line is, it's another person dead.
Another
life
person,
is the most precious thing that you can lose.
You know?
So.
Alright, so there we got it. We got inLeague Press and Stephen Sweet back in California reporting this Saturday, the 16th of February, still in Sandyland, at the Los Angeles Police Department protest and OPFKLAPD.